All you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games, or well, another live stream of An Ecologist Plays. As you can see, we are back in Pax Augusta with our little new village, a new settlement at least, that we have started along the gentle coast. So we have got the ocean right over here, we've got a nice big hill up here that we are going to conserve as a conservation area, and we've got a bit of settlement development happening right over here. Hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We are going to be looking at how we can expand our town over here, or our city to be, without hampering or destroying nature in the process. That is the idea for this evening. We have got a lot of liberty, we have got a few peregrini, we're hoping to get to the chives as well over here in this city, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get to the equities, although I'm not 100% sure whether we'll be able to do that. But lots to do, lots to do. Just to recap, of course, I'm not allowed to build right up here along the shore, except for the port that will be built, I believe, over here, and maybe a fishing dock, or maybe two, but probably just the one. I'm not allowed to build right up here. I don't believe I can, in any case, build right up here. And I'm not allowed to build in any of these floodplain areas. And additionally, because that area, and that area over there are all floodplains or wetland areas, and we want to connect this conservation area up here with the big woodland over here, I'm not allowed to build in this general area over here. Now, I did have a look, and thankfully our clay pit is outside of the wetland area, so we are going to at least be able to make bricks, although we technically haven't discovered it yet. So let's go have a look there, and officially, well, I think we have actually, but why could I not? Earlier, I could not actually build that. Oh, we don't have enough peregrini. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we have discovered it. Okay, we need to get more peregrini. Now, the peregrini, I believe we just need to build another house or so. Let's see, I think this is where one bunch of peregrini will be living. Yeah, 16 of them over there. Oh, they're not extremely happy. Oh, they need an arena. That we need to do as well. Okay, so first things first, let's try and see if we can just get a little arena. We're just going to again build a small one here. We're just waiting for the plans from Rome to come through. There we go. Wonderful. We're just going to build that right over here. We're going to keep the tree over there because I think that is an important bit of nature to conserve over there. And then we're going to plop down our small arena right over there. And that will hopefully help the peregrini over here feel a little bit happier, in essence. Okay, so they don't have that. Oh, we need religion as well. And in order to actually have religion, I do believe we need to build... Have we got slave markets? Those are that's a funeral pyre over there. We do not yet have a slave market, I think. So we will need to get the... We need to get some slaves so that we actually can get the religion started in this settlement as well. Okay, please do let me know if the sound is too loud or if there is no music whatsoever. Let's see. Entertainment has come to the city. Thanks to you, the inhabitants no longer have to pass the time with illegal dice games in back rooms. By building the first entertainment facility, your reputation increases by 2 points again. Ah, that's marvelous. All right, we are going to plop down the slave market, the central market, right over here. And again, as with the previous town, we are going to have as few slaves as possible. Okay, we are just going to plop that down over there. I think that should be enough. We just want one or two so that we can actually get religion started in this area up here. That is the idea, at least. Okay, and then let's see, you guys, you're a little bit happier, 73%, wonderful. And we already have 11 peregrini. That is marvelous. That means we should be able to... Oh, let me just check here. Denarii wise. Oh, yeah, we're only about 45 denarii above our expenses with the income. So... Oh, you're not sure you hear any music. Oh, goodness. Okay, so thanks for that, Fire Duck. Let's see. That should fix the problem now. Okay, hopefully you should be able to hear some music now. For some reason, did it the same last week with Sim Safari. Okay, not enough scriptoria. Why do we need scriptoria suddenly? Oh, it's because of the slave market, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to just need to increase our forum over here. Let's see. I think we should be able to have this central one right over there. All right, how many do we need? We need 3. Oh, wow, goodness. Okay. So that is forum. Let's increase another 2. That should then be enough. Alright, so hopefully now you can hear the bustle of the city as well there, Fire Duck. If it is too loud, please do let me know, then I can set the sound a little bit lower, a little bit softer. Alright, we can also now, I believe, place down some more lovely little houses for our Peregrini to move into. I think that one, and then maybe a 5x2 like that. And then I think we can just have a little garden in the back. A little one like this. I think that'll be lovely. A little orchard in essence. Alright, so this will now increase the number of Peregrini we can have. In order to make them happier, all we need really is a little bit of religion. So let us... Now I need to remember where that is. Not here by forum. No. It is, in fact... There we go. It's a whole tab. Religion. Okay. Temple. We cannot build that. We need... Okay. Technically, we could build that. But that's going to cost a lot of money. This here is going to cost a lot less. So let us grab this one. We just need 2 slaves. By... Oh, okay. There aren't any to buy. Never mind. There we go. Now we have. Okay, offered for sale. So the slave trader just popped up right as I tried to buy. Might be able to hear when you change the building position, actually, unless that's your mouse. I don't think it is the mouse. Let's see. If I am over here, you should hear some bustling of the city. Still don't hear the game, interestingly enough. Okay, so let me just increase the volume there. Hopefully that helps. Alright, let's see now. What I was looking for is religion over here, temple-wise, small Gallo-Roman. That's the one I want. But why can I not build over here? What do I not have? Something I don't have. Is it? No. The shrine I can build. Oh, you know what? I don't think there's space for me to actually build over here. No, I can't build here because there isn't any space. Alright, let's see if I just quickly, with management forum, just plop down a square. Oh, I can't build that here either. I suspect this is the build limit. Good to know. Okay, we really can't build anything to this side, which is, that's also fine. That's fine. What we are going to do is we are going to then just... I think let's bring the forum over here and then bring the temple in the courtyard area over here. Like that over there. Okay, that will hopefully help. That will hopefully help make all the Peregrini a little bit happier. Already 73%, that's not too shabby, not too shabby. They are going to bring in quite a bit of money, I think. Already on 150, that's going to go up ever so slightly. Arena is high enough, it's just religion that we need. And of course, with the religion here, if we choose a god, we can also have the one where we have got increased yield from our backyard farms, in essence, which will be absolutely wonderful. Speaking of, there is, of course, education. The housing for engineers, that's only going to cost us 5 denarii per week. We may as well grab that, but we're going to have to place that outside our main forum range. Okay, I'm going to place that over here, I think. Because this area, we are going to have to plop down a whole bunch of houses. So let's grab the housing for engineers, plop it down in the back here. The engineers are banished to the outside, outside of the city. And, before I forget, let us expand. So we've got +1 satisfaction here from our arena, because now there are nice sunshades there. How's our wood storage looking? Oh, only 25%. Okay. It was 60% before I started this evening stream. So, that is interesting. Okay. Now, let's see. I'm just quickly change so that I can see all the messages. There we go. And, of course, drinking some hot chocolate, compliments of Nick, from my Super Dad cup, which I got from a good friend of mine. So, yeah, just gonna... Oh, there we go. First religious building. Yay. Reputation increases slowly but surely. In order to actually get to Praetor or to run for Praetor, we do need a bit more reputation. We need 800 reputation in total, and we need 7,200 denarii, wealth, which we are getting there. We are getting there. But in terms of our reputation, we need 300 reputation still, and that's going to be, that's going to take quite a while to get there. All right, let us then just check. Yeah, we're waiting for the engineering school. As soon as the engineer school is done, we should be able to actually send an engineer to go. There we go. There we go. See, can I think I should be able to hire one. You know what? Let's hire one. And we are going to, for this village or this settlement as well, we are going to go with that one. And we're going to select Tiberius Gavius. And which one is better? I think this one. The teacher has a poor reputation. You know what? Let's go for the better training. Let's go for that one. Alrighty. So now, hopefully, Mr. Gavius will come back soon enough, and he will help increase the amount of food we get from our backyard gardens. Just want to check. In terms of food production, 85 food production. That is absolutely marvelous. Now, I believe, this is our food storage. Yeah, we do need perhaps a bit more good food storage. Let's place down a good horium. Now, interesting, what was also mentioned in one of the comments of one of the previous videos is that the proper horium, the big one we've got over here, which we don't have enough bricks for. Okay, so we're going to have to start brick production first. The big horium actually is raised off the ground. You can kind of see that. It is kind of raised off the ground. Maybe if I look a little sideways, there we go. You can see the main section there is actually raised off the ground, which reduces spoilage. Whereas the small horium, it is kind of raised off the ground, but this one is much better. The spoilage rate is much lower for the big horium than the small horium, so you don't lose food as much, which is absolutely marvelous. Oh, our denarii is going down, but our income is thankfully increasing. How are you guys looking? Yeah, all right. Let's see, we had food production of 85, I believe. At the moment, it is 85. If we select Secellus, I think is the one we are going to do. Oh, we've got enough food, I think, I think we are going to dedicate and hold a festival. Alrighty, people are celebrating, celebration time. And then... now, food production should go up soon. I'm hoping it does, because we have dedicated that temple to Secellus. That should increase. There we go. Already going to up to 91. Yeah, it'll slowly but surely, I think it's going to produce a bit more food, which is great. Every bit counts. And of course, with smallholder here, I believe, that's another 15% increase, which is going to be absolutely marvelous. It's going to push our food production to above 100 per week, which is far more than we need to sustain our village. Okay, you guys are moving in slowly but surely. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 12 in this one over here. This one I think should be full. Oh no, 10 out of 16. Okay, slowly but surely people are moving in though. Alrighty. Then. I do need to set up the brickworks, because if I can set this up, we can get bricks, obviously, which is very important, and then we can start building better stuff like the large horium and all those other things. So let me quickly check. How much will I need in order to actually get brick production started? Okay, I can't see how much it is going to cost to actually do this. How much it will cost to maintain that. That's 8, that's another 44, that's 52 already. Sure. Okay, we are going to need quite a lot of funds, money per week, to sustain that. We are about 100 above, 100 more income than expenses. That is absolutely marvelous, but I think we are going to just put down another, I think another big one like this. Another big simple house. And then I think we are going to just plop down another one like that and put a nice draw a well in there. And we can also then, I believe, put down some nice gardens over here to help with the flow of, or the movement of animals through our town here. So let me just go simple house, gardens. I think this one would work quite nicely as a nice big one over there. And then just a small, thinner one, I think, over here. I wanted to keep that one particular tree over there. That, I think, was a good one to keep. Oh, we need more market stalls. Can you believe it? The market needs to grow. Okay, so let us go and do that, shall we? Of course, as things go on, we are going to place down more and more and more stuff. Ha, there's a nice big market. Got enough everything to maintain that. That is going to, yeah, that's going to be more than enough for now. Alrighty. Now, income. It's getting there. I think we should be able to plop down our clay mine and stuff like that. But we are going to need to get more slaves, I'm afraid. So let us just plop down, I think, this cage. Okay, and then as soon as we've got enough involuntary workers, we are going to place them, we're going to place down the clay logistics center. There's at production. I keep on forgetting where we get these things. Should be there. We need 10 slaves, yeah. And then, oh, it takes 30 denarii probably to set it up, not to maintain per week. Okay, let's speed up time here and drink another sip of coffee or hot chocolate. Scriptoria needed. Okay. Oh, that's for the market. That's what it is for. Oh, wow. Another 6 we need. My. Okay. Management, forum. Scriptoria. Never a dull moment, guys. Never a dull moment. Always trying to manage stuff here. Let's see. This one. Can I rotate it to look nice? Yes, I can. That one. I think like that should look nice. And that means I should be able to plop down 3, 4, 5. And then we're just going to wait to see how we make that bend over there. Yeah, for a moment I thought it wasn't really aligned there, but it is kind of aligned there. That's fine. Okay. Great stuff. Great stuff. This has been built. Yeah. What we can do in the meantime is actually have just a gravel road kind of leading up to where we need to go. We're just going to get that over here. I think we are going to unfortunately lose a few trees in the process. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see soon enough. Alrighty. Have we got... yeah, those cages have been built. There we go. Okay. I think, yeah, maybe there's a war that actually has broken out again because the price of slaves is actually very, very low. So if we look here, Romanicate, civil wars, oh, over. Interesting. It says that the civil wars are over. And usually, if there are new wars breaking out, slaves are actually very cheap because, you know, as the empire expands and takes over new lands, of course, new slaves come into the markets and there's a bit of an oversupply. But as peace breaks out, or as wars conclude and peace actually returns, well, then you have got fewer slaves coming in and the price actually goes up. That's what I wanted to say. Let's check here. Not trade, Commonwealth, production, bricks, logistics. We have got everything we need. Let's build that. And then we can just quickly build a bit more of the gravel road up to it. I do want to also just connect to the main road coming up over here. There we go. That's going to help us potentially get food and stuff from, or timber and bricks and whatever from other areas in the surrounding lands. Let's just have a quick look at that, because last time we did do some trade as well with the other settlement. Let's see, what have we got? This one will give us food for money. That's fine. I don't need that. This one will also... well, this one will give us marble. Okay. We don't, I think, have a marble mine in this settlement either. Hello there, Janice. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad you are here with us. You can create more income by placing income areas behind the houses. Yes, indeed. I think I will be placing down some small houses there at the back as well. I do like to have a lot of backyard gardens, however, because in theory, at least, that helps animals and stuff to move through the landscape. So looking at it from a more ecological point of view, I would like to have a lot of gardens, maybe some backyard houses. So we'll see whether we do place down a few or what happens there in a moment. This one also gives us food for money. Don't really need that. What's happening? This one, oh, okay. This one we can give some money and they are going to give us 2 denarii per week, or we give them money and they give us food and we pay the money for the food. You know, we are going to have a lot of food production happening. We may as well found a vicus. You know, 2 denarii, that's something at least. That is better than nothing. These guys will give us bricks for money. This one will probably be food. Oh, there we go. My game just kind of lagging a little bit. Yeah, that is food. This one probably food. Yeah, indeed, also food. This will probably be iron. Yeah, there we go. Iron for money. This is also food, and this one nothing. That's not anything up there. All right. Okay, I guess let's go back to our city. So let's see, where can we place? Technically, we can place down a nice backyard house over here. Let's see, commerce, backyard houses over here. This will give us 3.9 per week. We can't place anything there because that is technically open space. You know what we can do is we can place that over there. And then we can also, just to again help the movement of animals, we are going to just place down a little backyard garden like that. A little bit of a patchwork. And then we've got an open field over here. I don't think we can really place many trees. We can technically place this. You know what? We can. May as well place that. That does look nice. I'm going to place that as a nice little gathering spot for people. Alrighty. And also at the same time, we've got some plants and stuff there, some trees that the insects can come through and do all kinds of things, move through the area. How's this Clay Logistics Center that is coming along? That is already there. Great. Costs 7 per week to maintain. Oh, wow. We've got a lot of income. That is very, very nice. That means we should be able to get our clay pits over here. Okay, we do need slaves for that one. That's 2 slaves for that. This produces 4 per week. That produces 12 per week, but it costs 4 times as much. This one, it costs 10 times as much as this and produces 10 times as much. You know what? We can afford to actually have to spend 10 denarii per week on getting clay. Oh, what do we know? Oh, we don't have slaves. We need 5 slaves. Okay, let's quickly grab them. Oh, okay, we don't have any more for sale. Okay, we're going to wait. And as soon as we have more for sale, we are going to, I think there are some, yeah, there we go, some slaves coming from the rest of the empire that they should hit the panes over there in a moment, the market. How's this market looking? That's fine, that's fine. Okay. We still have 4 Peregrini more that we're going to get in a moment. And then we do need, I believe, at least one. We are going to need far more scriptorii in a moment. Or scriptorii. What is it? This is, yeah, scriptoria. Yeah, scriptoria. There we go. Come on, Will. Come on, focus. Let's make this look nice. Does this blend nicely there? I think it does. Yes, and let's place another one down like that. And, you know, preemptively, let's place down some more because, well, when we have the... Oh, we don't have bricks anymore. Oh dear, we don't have bricks. I was thinking we're going to need to place down some more because we are going to get the brickworks running in a moment. Fine, let us go to where the bricks were. I think it's over here. No, that's marble. That is food. I think bricks were probably here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's conclude that agreement. That is 24 denarii per week for 6 bricks. That's something. Okay, that is something. And then we do need a brick warehouse, however. So what we are going to do is we're just going to go production brick warehouse. Yeah, we don't need any bricks for that, which is good. Very, very good. Let me just check. Yeah, that's the floodplain area over there. We can place the brick warehouse over here. Not in the actual trees over there, not in the tree line there. We want to maintain as many of the trees as we possibly can. Hello there, Ozymandias. Welcome, welcome to the stream. Glad you are here. Yes, hello there. The first part is said in the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. General Ozymandias, you are a bold one. There you go. How are our funeral things? Yeah, looking all right. Let us hire some wailing women. It seems that if you want to import goods from the region, but you don't have a toll house. Oh, yeah, okay. We need a toll house. Okay. Let's go trade, foreign trade, toll house. Oh, luckily we don't need any. We don't need any of the bricks to build that. All right, let's place that down there as well, and that means we should be able to at least get some of our bricks. Bricks will be, I think, brought in from the right-hand side. This is where we are. Yeah, looking at it like this, that is indeed where the bricks will come from. We need to connect to this road over here, which is this road over here. Oh, come on, over here. So since we are connected to it, we will be able to get bricks from this side, coming through our toll house to our lovely little brick warehouse over there. Let's just quickly speed things up, and soon enough we should get some bricks. Now it's not a lot, but hopefully it is going to help us survive until we have our brick production set up. Speaking of which, I think we should be able to actually get that going. Not enough scriptoria. I know we don't have enough scriptoria. The small brick kiln, this one is 44 denarii, this is 12 denarii. Okay, 34 bricks per week versus 72 bricks per week. So this is more than twice. Oh. You know, if we actually technically place down 2 of these, it's going to cost less. But firewood consumption per produced unit. I think that is 15 firewood is used per 72 wood. Whereas this one uses 6 for 34. No, yeah, 34. Wow, it works out very similar to one another. You know what? We don't need so many bricks. What we are going to do is we're just going to have a small kiln. Small brick kiln for now. And we need brick production. The brick production we are going to have to place where? This is where it will be. Oh, I think we're going to place that over here. Oh man, really tough because I don't really want to build too close to the ocean. This is as close as I'm going to allow myself to build. Okay, let's see if I can build a road down here. That will be lovely. For now, let's just go with the dirt roads, the gravel roads, and then let's get our production bricks. Brick production. Yeah, that is perfect. Okay, we can place that down there. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Alrighty. Let me just check that I haven't missed anything. Okay, it doesn't look like it. Alright. Really hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. We had a very nice weekend thus far. My mother came through today. It's her birthday, and we had a very nice little visit. And of course, she got to see her grandson again, which is always wonderful. And Wilson is enjoying life. He is mostly very, very well behaved, which we are very thankful for. Last night, we thankfully had a wonderful night's rest. And hopefully this evening will be another evening of nice rest. We're really, really hoping for that. Let me just check here. Oh yeah, this house is still within the radius of our, what do we call this, the altar over there. Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, we can probably get some more Peregrini. When can we actually build insula? If we have 300 Peregrini, okay. We can't build because we need more bricks. Oh no, we've got bricks. So we can build again. You know what, we are going to build again. Let us build some houses. We can build 2... Oh, no, we can't. We don't have bricks for that. Oh, goodness. Okay, but we should be able to get some money. You know what, we're going to place that there and there. That is what we are going to do. Extra income. Because income is very, very important. You can't have a town if there's no income. Other things looking over here. Oh, yes. This wood. These guys. Choose. I think we should be able to. Yeah, there we go. Take wood over there, please. Oh, we've got 71% of the wood storage full. That is marvelous. Oh, that is not bad at all. Okay, time for some more hot chocolate. I think we've got more bricks coming in. Everything is looking all right, looking all right. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the value of conserving areas like this, because I mean this is a big chunk of land that we are not developing. I mean, first of all, obviously we don't want to build in floodplains or areas where there are wetlands. Number of reasons you don't want to build here. So from an ecological point of view, you don't want to build here because these are wetland areas, and wetland areas are extremely important. Nowadays, what is happening is a lot of wetlands are being destroyed. Mainly the peat is actually being mined, and peat is this dark soil that develops in anaerobic conditions. In conditions underwater where there is no oxygen. So plant matter falls into the wetlands, sinks to the bottom, and it starts decomposing. But at the bottom there's not a lot of oxygen, or very little oxygen. So for the decomposition there is no oxygen to use. And normally decomposers use oxygen during decomposition. And in the absence of oxygen, that decomposition happens very slowly, and it forms these chunks of, or this thick layer of peat, this blackish mud-like substance. And there's a lot of carbon locked away in that peat there. If we now go and mine the peat, we bring it to the surface, suddenly, I mean, when it was anaerobically decomposed, it was not decomposed completely. There's a lot of organic matter still there. If you now bring that peat up to the surface by either draining the wetland to actually build there, or by mining the peat, that peat now comes into contact with oxygen. And now it starts breaking down further. And now a lot of carbon is actually released into the atmosphere. So nowadays, the draining of wetlands and the mining of peat, it is contributing to carbon being released into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change and all those wonderful, horrible stuff that is happening. Not enough scriptoria. Yes, I am aware. I'm going to quickly address that. We need 3 more. Okay, 3 more, and then I'll I'll go back to why wetland areas are important to not destroy. So let us just go for this one. I can't place that like that. Oh, I can place it like this. That is marvelous. Okay. I think we needed 3. Okay. So that's the first thing. You don't want to mine the peat here or expose the peat that is in the wetland here to oxygen because you don't want it breaking down further. Secondly, all these wetlands are fulfilling extremely important roles. It's starting to rain, which is amazing because the wetlands here will act as a flood barrier. So as the rivers, for example, flow into, or streams flow into a wetland area, it holds the water for a little bit longer, preventing downstream flooding. Also purifies the water so that the water is cleaner going out. Heavy metals and stuff like that will bind to the peat, and that reduces heavy metals further down along the stream. So wetlands extremely important for that as well. Obviously important habitat for fish and frogs and birds and water plants and all these lovely things as well. But one more important thing one important reason you also don't want to build here is because the wetlands, of course, and you can imagine when it is wet, it's going to be very difficult to build there. So you can build there in the dry season if there is no water, all great, and then it rains and your houses flood and your houses start sinking and all those horrible things start happening. It's a logistical nightmare. So for ecological purposes, we are not building here. But even if you didn't look at it from an ecological point of view and just from a civil engineering point of view, you wouldn't want to build there. That's not a great idea. So we are going to not build there. We'll get back to why this area is actually important, or why it's important to have conservation areas in cities in a bit as well. For now, I just want to quickly check how our brick production is coming along. Okay, brick storage 90%. Yeah, it's coming along. We don't have any wood. We don't have any... Oh, we don't have any clay because, yeah, of course, we're not producing any clay whatsoever. Ah, that's why. I remember now. We wanted to get more slaves. How many did we need? We needed, I think, 10. Production, bricks, it was this one. Oh, 1 more. We needed 1 more slave. There we go. And then we can grab our brick over here, clay pit, plop that down right over here, right over there. And now we should be able to actually finally start producing bricks. Ah, my word, that took forever. I just want to quickly also check Vesuvius. where are you? You can just quickly check here what's going on here. I do want to see, is this the only area we can harvest timber over here and here? We're not going to, in any case, harvest any timber there, and we can't harvest timber over here either. Okay, just good to know, good to know. Okay, Vesuvius also just quickly, or Vitruvius, not Vesuvius. Vesuvius was a mountain, a volcano. Vitruvius, just quickly come and check here. Anything useful there? Doesn't look like it. No fishing we can do there. Good to know. Okay, so now, just quickly check. We've got enough scriptoria. I wanted to see, okay, we can still build 2 houses that we can still build. How is our water supply looking? Where are the wells? There should be a well over here somewhere. There's the well. Okay, so we can build a house over there and here, and it will all be fine. So we are going to do that. Houses, simple houses. 6 by 3. Have we got, yeah, we've got enough bricks to do that to this side. And I think one to this side as well. And then we can also just, again, have some gardens. Plop down a nice garden like that. And I think we're going to have another nice one like this. And another nice one. We're going for variety again. As always, we're going for lots and lots and lots of variety. Variety is the spice of life. Okay. I do want to check, can we actually expand our market to this side still? Or have I now kind of screwed us over there? Trade, market. Okay, we can build another one on this side as well. Okay, great. So we should be able to build a market over here. Great. Didn't want to completely mess it up. Because, yeah, I did already kind of build a farmland over here where I wanted to build my market. But you know what? That is all right. That is perfectly fine. Ah, it is winter. Winter is coming. We've got a bit of food stored away. We're going to use 22 food per week. You know what? We've got more than enough food stored away. That is perfectly fine. This guy is still waiting to be trained. Okay, come on. You've got to come back soon. Training should be done soon enough. Yeah, the toll house is still doing its thing. This one, okay, finally there's firewood there. And these guys are, I guess, kind of doing something. Denarii wise, sure, yeah, about 100 more income than expensive. That is absolutely brilliant. Okay, we do need a bit more of an arena. And technically we need a theater as well. So let's have a look here. In terms of the theater, small wood theater. Just keeping in mind that we don't want to build really within our radius. We're going to place the theater right here by the timber production. And we're going to say that at night the theater is busy. And during the daytime the timber is being produced. Okay, so let's just plop this down over here. That should be fine. That should make the Peregrini quite happy. They're already 85% happiness. That is absolutely marvelous. Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, and again, just want to quickly check messages. Everything looks fine. There we go. All right, so while we're waiting for winter to pass and for our engineer to come back so that we can actually see how much food we now will be producing, if we look at why we want to conserve this area, why is a conservation area important? Now, first of all, for me as an ecologist, it is incredibly important to have some area set apart for nature. And unfortunately, towns and cities very rarely have that outlook. Yes, some towns and cities will have parks, but parks are usually just a big lawn with perhaps 1 or 2 trees dotted through the area. Very rarely is it actually really useful from an ecological point of view. The lawns are constantly cut. Any flowers like dandelions and so that maybe have been of use to pollinators are cut or mowed along with the grass. So very rarely is it really of much use as conservation areas or for conservation. But if you're looking at why we want to conserve this area, yes, we've got floodplains, first of all, or wetland areas over here. That's important to conserve for all the ecological reasons. But if we're looking at this landscape here, this little hill over here, yes, we can develop this area, but it will very often expose the soil over there to raindrops splashing down and rain running down the hill, eroding it, which may cause landslides, which may cause the houses to fall down, all kinds of bad stuff happening. I don't want to build on a hill. But if we now leave this area undeveloped and we develop all around here, regardless of the wetlands, let's say there were no wetlands, if we develop all around here, this becomes a little island in a developed landscape. And this little island will not be able to sustain nature in great diversity. Yes, there will be some plants and animals that survive there, but really it won't be a lot. You would have much more diversity if this little island over here is actually connected to a larger piece of natural area. So by leaving this area undeveloped, we are allowing animals and plants to move through this area. Yes, the plants won't get up and walk through this area, but their seeds will be dispersed because animals and birds, animals like mammals and birds will move through this area, and with that movement they will bring seeds from this forest area to this little island area over here, this little hill area over here. So you've got the genetics moving, you've got seeds moving across, new individuals being able to establish here to replace dead ones and dying ones and stuff like that. You'll have the system working. You can only have that if you've got this area undeveloped and this little hill connected to the woodland landscape over there. All right, I did see the pop-up. We do need more market stalls. Yes, indeed. So let us go for trade. Oh, there we go. Okay, trade. Market. Just want to quickly check. I don't think it's this one. No, it's not this one. It is the left. Okay, this could work, but you know what? We can actually have the middle piece. There we go. That. And then we can have this one at the end. And it's going to be a very nice little market area over there. All right, that should be enough at least for quite a while. In terms of this, 100% satisfaction. Can you believe that? That is absolutely marvelous. Okay, how are things looking in terms of bricks? Yeah, we are fine. In terms of finances, yeah, we are definitely very, very fine. And here we go. Spring is rolling around, so food production should go up again. Wow, we are already on 104 food production, and our engineer is not back yet. So, yeah, I can't wait to see how much we actually get from that. Speaking of which, let's have a look. What else can we get? Let's see. Yeah, this resource processor, that is quite useful. Let's see. Smallholder, we are getting that. No, oh, I thought we sent this guy off to train. We didn't. My word. Why did we not? Okay, now he goes. Off he goes. Finally, I was waiting for Tiberius to come back, but he was never sent off to go study. My word. All right. Improved firing technology reduces wood consumption in brick kilns by 30%. Well, that is marvelous. So what we are going to do is we're going to hire another engineer. We're going to select him for training, and let's go for that one, just because we can. Send him off. Okay, 2 engineers. Now that means we should be able to get away with less wood to actually have these kilns fire. Okay. Or these kilns, sorry, this kiln over here, for example, working. Alrighty. Now, let's see. How is our wood production? Yeah, wood storage is looking quite alright. Wood production is carrying on over here. Yeah, indeed. These guys are working. Everything is good. Right, we should be able to, yeah, we've got enough bricks again. We can actually expand a little bit more. So we're going to, oh yeah, for a moment I thought we can't build anymore, but we can build another one over here. There we go. And that is going to be it. Then this rest of this area, we will again put market stalls over here as well. That is the idea. Now we should probably start looking at building a road along here. What we are going to do here is very much kind of a clustered development. Relatively high density houses, but with a lot of farmland kind of in between. The idea being that will still be movement of organisms along the little farms here, along the plots. So we're not completely destroying the environment. We are allowing animals to move through the system, but we are not going to build all the way up to here. I think we are going to leave this area relatively... oh, we can't. We can, in any case... We can only build up to here in any case. Okay, we are going to stuff this area, I'm afraid, quite a bit. Okay, good to know, good to know. Okay, we're not going to build beyond this boundary. Of course we're not, because we can't. Okay, let's have a look. If we can now build a city street that comes down through this area over here. Unfortunately, yes, we did lose some trees there. Okay. Not sure what this crossing does or what it looks like, but I've never really found the use for the crossing here. I don't know, maybe it looks nice. Never used it. Anyway, maybe it's like a T-junction, I guess it is. Alright. Now, what we can have... We need more simple houses. How many Peregrini can we have? 150. So we're halfway to where we need to be in order to have the insula, to build our first insula. And right up to here, we can build. Okay. Let's build our first one. I think. And we can kind of build it here. Yes, we can plop this down over here. And then I just need to build a little road over here. City street comes off along here. And then we can build our 5x3, I think it was. Yeah, right over there. Alright, and then we can have a teeny tiny little garden in the back there. I think that was a garden. Alright. We do need water for this guy over here. We'll get that in a moment. I just want to quickly check. I think if I put the well over here, that should be fine. Yeah, right over here. Then we can still build a house over here. No worries. Okay, it's important to keep track of where you can and where you cannot build. There we go, like that. And then, these guys are not going to be very happy because... Let me just get the squeaky chair and reposition myself. Because they're not going to be happy because they're not on one of the main streets. They're not on the Cardo Maximum or the Decumanus Maximus. Or Cardo Maximus or Decumanus Maximus. They're not on one of these main roads over here. So they are going to be slightly less happy. In order to help them be a little bit happier, we are going to have to look at some of the other needs. A restaurant may be a good one to look at. So let's see if we can perhaps place down a restaurant. A taberna is a little bit too big to actually plop down here, but we can plop one down over here. A popina has a much larger radius. Oh, this will be good. I think this will be a good place to plop it. Yeah, let's do that. And then we're going to again plop down some gardens. Always plop down gardens. That's my main objective. If I can, I'm going to jolly well plop down... Oh, we can't plop down that down there. We need a house. This could work. It's a 3x2. This could work. There we go. And then in terms of garden, perhaps a 3x1 over there as well. And then I think a big garden, maybe? Yeah, I think so. I think a nice garden. We don't have a 4x2, do we? We've got 4x1s. 4x1, like this. And a 4x1 like this. There we go. And you know what, just because we've got an empty spot over here, let us place down another tree. There we go. It's not much, but it is honest work. Okay, now, food production. should really be quite high. 126 food production. And that is without the increase to our food production with our engineer going out to do the work. You guys, oh wow, okay, we definitely need to place down more grave sites, so let us, that's under religion, necropolis. Which one will I place? I like this one because, which one do I like? Look, there are some trees here, that's great. Now we're just going to place those down like that. What is this? This was... I'm trying to figure out what this one was, because this looks quite nice. There's a tree there. There's some nice natural environment. Let's have a look here. Not temple, religion, necropolis. Not this normal one. It could be this one. Yeah, there's this one. There is a nice cypress tree over there. Okay, there we go. Plop it down. It's quite raised, but oh, that's right. Let's leave it as that. That is going to hopefully keep our people happy in terms of, yeah, there we go. Enough graves. Enough food stalls connected to a road. Yeah, let's quickly have a look. You guys, wow, 100% happiness. I'm pleasantly surprised. They're not on the main road, so no bonus there. But in terms of everything else, they are very happy. All right. I'm not complaining about that. In terms of bricks, oh, we've got enough to place down another house. I'm really trying to get as many houses as we possibly can down. I'm going to place this one over here, and I'm going to place another... Ah, no. Okay, so he was supposed to complete the firing technology training. Unfortunately, without success, he spent time in taverns and enjoyed himself in lupanage instead of helping the city with his new skills. You naughty, naughty engineer. You know what? Because you did that, I'm going to dismiss you. You are 16. You are irresponsible. Going to hire another one. Yeah, and let us train him. Same training. Let's see whether he does his job. Naughty other engineer. All right, we do need, I think, yeah, there is a well, not a well over there. So we need to place a well down. We're just going to, you know, because we can. Ah, there we go. This one, however, Tiberius Gavius has completed the smallholder training, and thanks to Epona, has returned safely to the city. Marvelous. Let's see, how is our food production now? Currently 141 food being produced. I'm not sure whether that is going to now go up or not. We'll see. We'll see in a moment. Okay, this area over here, I do want a nice garden going through. So, I think we should be able to, there we go, have this. We should be able to have, I think that is the one I just looked at. We can have this as well. That's a bit of more cereal land over there. Now what we are going to go for is here are simple houses. I think this is going to give us a nice income over there. And a bit more like that. There we go. All right, so that should give us a bit more income. How is our finances looking? Oh, absolutely marvelous. That is how that is looking. 582 income, 337 expenses. Oh, marvelous. And our food production, 154. Our warehouses are almost filled. So what I'm going to have to do is actually get our production food. Let's see, can I place down a proper horium? No, we do not have enough bricks. Let's have a look. Trade. Foreign trade. We don't have enough Peregrini to make the trade market yet. Okay, we're going to... We need 250. After these ones are filled, we're only on 209. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, we're going to need to place down some more houses over here, I think. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm going to just, again, drink something. I think quite like hot chocolate, even though it is kind of becoming lukewarm chocolate now. I think quite like hot chocolate on a nice Sunday evening. Again, just constantly checking. Yeah, Scriptoria are fine. Okay. We don't have any theater groups or gladiators yet. You know what? Maybe we should go to the... Let's go to the outer world. Let's go see if we can perhaps grab some gladiators and or a theater group. And we can bring them to our city and actually have the have them do their thing to perhaps give us some more renown, our reputation, and also just get our villagers even happier. Perhaps have a festival or two as we go on. I'm just waiting, of course, for the world map to load. That should be soon. And there we go. All right, so there's Leoviticus, our town, our settlement. Let's see, what have we got? Have we got anything? There we go. There's a racing team. We don't need them. Are there any gladiators? There's a merchant, not what we are looking for. There are slaves there. Odeon, artisans, theater group. I think we already tried to get from Julia Magus previously. I don't think we got any there, but we'll have a look. There's our wagon. There comes our wagon. Alrighty. Hello there, President. Welcome to the stream. So glad you are with us as well. Things are going quite well this side. Moderately less sleep than usual, but overall doing very, very well. How are things on your side? Hope you are doing wonderfully and having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Let's see here. Theater group, that is what I'm after. Let's check here. Okay, where are you going? You got there and you realize you can't cross the river there. Okay, you're going across there, I think. That should be a bridge. There should be a bridge right over there. He didn't just forget that today is stream day. Well, it had been a while. I mean, last Sunday I did stream finally for the first time in about a month, or in 3 weeks, and today is the first time in 4 weeks that I'm actually streaming Pax Augusta. So it has literally been a month since I last streamed this game. It's been a while. It's been a while. You are completely forgiven, President, for not being here earlier. Let's see. A theater group, cost per week 514 for an entertainment value of 50. You know what? That 514 will only be in the week or in the month that they actually perform. So that will cost us, well, 2,000 denarii for those 4 weeks. That's going to be fine. We're going to hire them. They're going to really do a marvelous job there. And then we are still looking for gladiators. Gladiators, where are you? There we go. There's a gladiator, Ludus. Let's go grab some gladiators up there. Hopefully we can get some gladiators there. I see you say summer is in full swing there. Well, winter is fast approaching this side of the world, in the southern hemisphere. It is getting quite cold, and soon I will be streaming with my bright red gloves again. All right, wow. Okay, for 48 entertainment per week, 591 denarii per week, we can hire these guys. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Oh, this is going to be an expensive month. 4,000 denarii we are going to have saved away. Otherwise, we are going to run out of money. And in the month that they are performing. So, yeah, we're going to go back to our Leoviticus over here. And we're going to check how our funds are looking. If our funds are looking quite good, that means we will be able to get a nice festival going hopefully soon. So we'll see. We'll see in a moment. Our little cart is just... There we go. Oh, no, where are we? Where's our wagon? Over there. Oh, there's our villa or ecologia, our starter village over there. Let's just quickly have a look here. See where we are there. Oh, I see, Janice, you guys are in hurricane season. Oh my word. Is it that bad? Oh, we thankfully do not have hurricanes here where we are. We have what we call the berg winds, which are nowhere near hurricane strength, but they can cause quite a lot of damage. Berg winds, berg is mountain, and wind, of course, is wind. So these are winds that blow down from higher lying areas into lower lying areas, extremely hot, drying out winds. Let's see here. In America, they are called Chinook winds, I believe, and in Europe, they are called the Föhn winds. And here in South Africa, we call them berg winds. Very harsh, strong winds, and yeah, that's the closest we get where we are to hurricanes. We thankfully do not have to worry too much about hurricanes. Wow, I forgot how this city looks. This is, yeah, we built quite a lot here, eh? And of course, it's our big theater. There's our small theater, our big arena, our small arenas. Wow. And we've got a lot of money in this settlement here. An income of almost 1,000 a week. Of course, expenses also almost 1,000 a week. Wow. And this poor little settlement over here of the locals just still carrying on. Just like doing the normal way of life is carrying on. And we've just built this massive city all around them. Oh, this is actually a lovely map to start on, I must say. All right. Now, let's go back to the world map. Because, you know, this is not where we are building. We are building along the gentle coast. That is where we are building. Let's see. Bread and circus for your city, you say, President. Indeed, indeed. Really bad hurricane season, you say, Janice, because of climate change. Oh, as climate change progresses, hurricanes are just going to get worse and worse. And you know what? Honestly, I would not be surprised if, well, okay, I don't think we will have hurricanes here where we are because the ocean currents along where we are relatively cool, so they don't allow the build-up of hurricanes. Along South Africa's east coast, however, we've got the Indian Ocean current coming down from the equator, and there we do occasionally have hurricanes hitting the east coast, hitting Mozambique to our north, and then hitting the northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal and Limpopo provinces. It does hit there occasionally, and then of course flooding everywhere. But luckily here where we are, the ocean currents don't allow the hurricanes to actually build, at least for now. If climate change does, however, the ocean gets warmer and warmer, well, who knows what will happen then. Yeah, I'm hoping you guys are staying safe in this hurricane season that is coming along. And yeah, how do you prepare for hurricane season though? Because, I mean, as I say, we don't have that, so we don't have to prepare for that. We don't have tornadoes really here. I have seen 2 tornadoes in my life, although they didn't really touch ground. They were starting to form, so not officially a tornado. But we don't have tornadoes, we don't have hurricanes here. But how on earth do you prepare for that? That's, yeah, just for interest sake, I would really like to know. Because, as I say, it's not something that we are used to on this side over here. And I'm very, very thankful we don't have to worry about that yet. Oh, let's see, okay. We are going back into our town here. There we go. Perfecto. Okay, we actually have got enough denarii saved away so that we can have a good festival. Oh, well. Okay, we're just waiting for that to load to tell us how much money we are going to be getting every week, income, etc., etc. Wow, 621 denarii per week. That's a hefty income compared to our 339 denarii expenses. We're getting double the income compared to our expenses. So let's consult the augurs, give them a donation, bribe them for 50 denarii, and let's see. Okay, so we can technically have a proper festival in February. Yes, we can do that. How are things looking here? So this is the one that we want to do, and that's the other. So let's select, put it in February, and we're going to put the arena also in February. And that is going to give us 8 reputation every February. Okay, it's going to add up, slowly but surely. It is going to add up. If we get an Odeon and a circus, we can put in February. That's why I chose February. We can put in an additional performance for the Odeon over there, and for the circus as well. Alrighty. I see. Fire like you also say, depends on whether or where you live and how the hurricane will hit you. Where you live, the hurricanes have usually lost strength, so they just have to get supplies in case power goes out. Really more than a day here there. And okay, wow. So that, I guess, helps. I mean, I guess if you are in Florida area, it's a bit of a different story, because as far as I understand, there is the warm ocean current going past Florida, and you know the hurricanes hitting from that side in particular. So, oh my word, Janice, you are in Florida. Oh no. Okay, so how do you prepare? Because I believe you are getting the brunt of the hurricanes, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my word. Okay. Yeah, so we in South Africa, we know power outages, we know that, but we don't have hurricanes. Well, southern parts of Africa, we don't have hurricanes, let's put it that way. Okay, let's see. What was I busy with here? Brick production is carrying... Oh, there we go. More than 200 Peregrini live in the city. People at Rome are very pleased about this. Rumor has it that you have a great career ahead of you. Your reputation increased by 2 points. Ah, that's marvelous. Okay, let me quickly check here. What is my salary? I can request. I'm going to request 30. And then just so that our funds actually start increasing, our wealth increases, because I don't think it's really gone up. I'm not sure. I haven't checked how much I had and how much, if I'm getting anything at all at the moment. I should probably have checked. I should be able to check that here. Income and expenses. Salary. No weekly salary. No wonder. Okay, there we go. So, okay, so you draw a salary from whatever city you are currently managing. Okay, and in a week we'll find out whether Quintus Trebellius was successful in their training to do the kiln, to manage the kiln over here, the firing techniques. Yeah, we've got some wood stored away. We don't have bricks. I completed the firing technology. There we go. Perfect. So now this should help us. Should help us quite a bit. You know what? We've got a lot of funds. A lot of funds. We can get the trade route over here, at least between these buildings. So this will now help the oxen to move a little bit faster between these buildings over here. Between the bricks and the kiln and then the brick warehouse. A brick warehouse is only 20% full. Aha, there we go. Salve! In my role as governor, I have reviewed your concern. So you want to adjust your salary. Well, if I do not agree, Rome will not approve the salary either. Perhaps you can convince me to support your salary request. You know, let's take a hit to our reputation and just give 11 denarii. Wow. Okay. Oh, my word. Food supplies are low. Why is our food supplies low? Oh, we're in the middle of winter. That is why. Yet, our production is still more than our consumption. Okay. Yeah, we really need to build a food warehouse. Okay, food. A horium. Let's build a proper horium. Oh, we can't because we don't have enough bricks. We need 343 bricks. Let's quickly check. Where are we in terms of the calendar? Where are we? Oh, we already had our festival. Wait. It costs... No, it costs denarii. I thought maybe it costs food. No, it costs denarii. Okay. Anyway. Let's have a look. Let's continue having a look here. Foreign trade. Oh, we need 250 Peregrini. We're getting there. Slowly but surely we are getting there. Let's just quickly have a look. Production-wise, food. We could place a farm. But sure, this takes up so much space. And that's a floodplain over there. I don't want to build that there. Oh, this is bad. Okay, can't build that there. You know what we are going to do is we're going to just increase the amount of farms, little backyard gardens we have over here. Again, just trying to have a nice variety. That gives us a bit of food production. There we go, like that. Like that. Like that. Just kind of moving through here. Trying to get as much a variety of houses or gardens as possible. And that should do it. Perfect. And can I can place this one down. I can't. Oh, that's a little yeah, backyard building. All right, let's see. Then I should be able to have one long one over here. I don't really want to because that's going to destroy the tree. And the houses, the garden's not worth that. We can get a 4-to-1 or, yeah. You know what, I'm going to go for this one over here because yeah, that is a perfect one. The reason I'm choosing this one is because of those trees that we have got in it. Those trees are going to connect kind of to the tree that is already there. So that is going to form a nice little habitat for tree-dwelling little invertebrates and birds and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Jan, as you say, canned goods and lots of batteries and water. Your house is about 5 miles from the beach, but it is brick and usually ride it out. Oh, yeah, brick houses, useful. We, in South Africa, most of our houses are actually brick, or at least the older ones are brick. We are in a brick house as well, which I don't think I can build any more houses to this side, as far as I recall. That is as far as I can build it. Here we go. All right, canned goods. I can believe that is a very, very useful thing to also have around. All right, how's our food production now? You see, 154. We just need to save a lot more food during the good times like now, because our warehouses are filled. Oh well, we can only store 788. No wonder we are battling sometimes. We are on 105% capacity. All right, we need to build quite a few houses more. We need simple houses because we need some more Peregrini. We need to get to 250 Peregrini, I believe it is. So we need 41 more Peregrini. 18. That'll be 18, and that'll be 36. And we are going to place a little garden right over there. Yeah, that is going to be useful. And you know what? We are going to place a tree over there as well. Garden, tree, right down there. A little cypress tree. Okay, or cedar tree. There we go. Okay, so then we just need one more simple house. And what we are going to do is, let's just quickly check. Yeah, the radius extends all the way to here. So what we are going to do is we're going to just place, think like one of these over here. And once all these simple houses are filled, we are going to have our 250 Peregrini so that we can finally put up this trade market, because this will allow us to exchange some goods, excess goods, for other stuff, for money. Okay, now usually what we trade, or you know, excess goods for other goods, so we can actually get more bricks that way. Do we now have enough bricks? I think we've got enough bricks to actually place down. No, not that. I want production, food, horium. Yeah, we've got enough to actually place down a nice horium over there. Brilliant. And the best thing is, the best part is that tree over there is still staying there. That tree has not been removed from our courtyard of our horium, which is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right. Now, I don't think, yeah, normally I would build another one over here, but I can't. What I can do is just build it over here. Oh, I can't because I don't have bricks. Never mind, never mind. Will is being forgetful. Trade market, 250. Okay, we are getting there. Let's increase speed a bit. Oh, we've got a lot of money, which is always good. The denarii have been rolling in. Have been, because denarii is plural. Scriptorii, we need more scriptorii. We've got 19, we need 20. I think we are probably... Okay, that's just the one for that one. Okay. Great, we can increase that. And you know what? We are going to just close up that one. That is the end. Let me just check. That lines up nicely. That's going to be the end. And we're going to put a bigger scriptorium over here and continue building there that way. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Great stuff. I don't like how it's not lining up there. I think that is because that's not a middle section actually there. I think that is one that I accidentally placed down incorrectly. So you know what? Let's delete that. There we go. Let us... Should be this one. There we go. I think now it is going to really line up much nicer. There we go. It was bothering me. Sometimes I'm a perfectionist and I like things to kind of just slot in perfectly. And it wasn't slotting in perfectly there. But it will be now. All right. Oh, great stuff. Now, interesting, what I noticed earlier is if I pause it, it's not paused. Everything still keeps on moving, and even time will tick on. We're on week 37, and soon we are going to hit 38, because time doesn't actually stop, or it doesn't look like it is stopping. It actually carries on, which is very, very strange. Maybe that's a bit of a bug, but you know what that is? That's also all right. There we go. Week 38. It ticked on, even though technically the game should be paused, but it means also our money is coming in, all those lovely things. Wow, we are still getting double the money in that we are spending. Can I check what else have we got that is very useful? Draw wells can be dug deeper. Supply radius increased by 30%, so we need fewer wells to supply the entire town. I don't think that's necessary now. Tree wedging, wedge trees to fell them faster or more precisely, plus 50% felled trees per week. That is quite nice. More clay yield. Nah, it's not really that necessary, I think. We're not going to worry about marble quarry at all, because we're not going to mine marble here. Shovel master, 20% more people can be buried in burial grounds. You know, to some extent that is nice, because we need less space for all the dead people. But at the same time, I don't want that. Oh, more market stalls needed. Well, you look at that. We need to set up a market. Okay, so let's quickly do that. And then we'll get back to what I was talking about, hopefully, if I remember. Okay, so let us pop this down over here. And then what we are going to do is we are going to just start, yeah, like this. We're going to have a nice market area built over here. Right, so as I was saying, with the increased density of graves here, on the one hand, less space used by the dead people, but on the other hand, it also means that the graves are more tightly packed together. And when graves are a little bit further apart, technically you can still have some greenery over here, and you can technically have more natural life still being in the cemetery here. Whereas if the graves are very tightly packed, there's less greenery, there's less open space for animals to move through, and I don't want that. So even though it is, on the one hand, a good thing to have graves denser, I don't want that for my settlements. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go for Shovel Master. Small holder we already have. Stonemason, not going to worry about, because we don't have marbles here. We don't have to worry about the iron either. We don't have an iron mine. We don't have a port yet. So this one, yeah, not so much yet. Maybe I should actually get fishermen. 20% fish catch thanks to better nets. Oh, on the one hand, yes, because we can place one fisherman's hut down and it's going to supply our town with 20% more food. But on the other hand, what it means is we are catching smaller fish. And, oh, that brings up an interesting question, or interesting point. So around the world, there usually is, at least in South Africa it is the case. Let me just quickly check. I've got a lot of food stored away, thankfully. Okay, for the winter, lots of food stored away. In South Africa, there is a minimum size that the fish needs to be in order for you to keep it. If it is smaller than that, you're not allowed to keep the fish. Okay? But, so you catch fish that's at least a certain size. And what then happens is people catch bigger fish and they keep the bigger fish. And the idea is that that allows the fish to actually reach maturity and reproduce before they are taken out of the ecosystem by humans. And, you know, it's a noble thing to do. And the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because there is a theory, and it seems to kind of be the case. What is happening now is because if you're looking at any species, some individuals will reach maturity when they are smaller. They will have genes that just have them being smaller than other fish. Other fish, their genetics will just allow them to grow bigger than the smaller ones will. And what you're doing is you're catching all these big fish, the fish which technically have the ability to produce bigger fish. You're catching them, removing them from the population, and you are leaving the small fish behind. And what then happens is those small fish, maybe they already are at reproductive age, they breed, and their genetics will be resulting in smaller fish hatching or growing up. You know, the population of small fish that are mature already will increase in the overall population, which is not great either. So if we now go and have our fishermen catching have better nets. Okay, more scriptoria. Yes, okay, I figured that was coming. If we've got better nets, it means they're catching the smaller fish as well. And you may be overfishing the area. But it also means you are catching those fish that have the genetics for smaller fish. It's a catch-22. Do we do it or do we not? We're not going to do it. I don't want to overfish the area. What I do want to do, however, is increase our forum over here. What we are going to do is we're going to have the large... I can't build anything over there. Okay, can I build anything? I don't think I can build anything over there either. Oh no. Okay, I can have this. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to have this. I want a nice big one. Here we go. I'm going to have it like this. There we go. A nice building like that. That is going to have how many scriptoria in there? Forum, that is this one, I think. That'll be 9 scriptoria. That is great. That is a very good use of space. Let's see, if I, like you say, for a second there you thought I meant to keep in aquariums. Oh, that'll be lovely, keeping all these little fishies. But no. Yeah, for eating, for removing from the population, for eating. Then Janice, you also say, do you have issues with microplastics there? Yes, we do. All over the place we have got issues with microplastics. Very often along our coast we've got little nurdles washing out, those little bead-like sized or bead-sized plastics that very often there are containers that break open and all these millions or billions of little nurdles wash up on our shore. Those nurdles are used, you know, they heat it up and they mold it to form plastic containers and stuff like that. So we've got that washing up. That is a big problem. And plastic bags, not as bad as in some areas around the world, but yes, we do have problems with plastics, microplastics, macroplastics, the whole lot. Unfortunately, I think they recently did a survey around the world. You can be in the most remote place on Earth, and there will be microplastics in the water there, which is really horrible. But yeah, it is a problem all over the show, unfortunately. Let's see, I think this garden we can also just place in there. That will also help us a bit when summer rolls around. Oh, we've got our 250 peregrini that we needed. So this means we'll be able to have foreign trade, a trade market. Okay, we're going to place that right here by the toll house. Oh, this is just a marvelous looking building. Yes, we're going to have it like that. There we go. And you know what? Just to make it look pretty, we are going to have a tree over here, a whole bunch of trees. I would love to actually have lots of different trees that I can plant, but you know, for now, some trees are better than no trees. Okay. So that's going to hopefully pop up a bunch of trees over there. And then this trade building, if I remember correctly, this trade building over here will help us to exchange goods, you know, one type for another. Our food is really coming along. We've got 1,800 stored away and lots of denarii. Haha, marvelous. Ooh, we should be in the week where we are losing a lot of money because of the theater and stuff. Performances happening. Yeah, there we go. We are in February, so we should be getting some reputation. That is great. I do wonder, an Odeon. This takes up some space, but oh wow, this is a beautiful building. Oh, this is an absolutely beautiful building. Okay, we need marble and we need more bricks for that. We need double the bricks we currently have. What's our brick storage like? Only 41%. Okay, we should have enough bricks that can be stored at least. That's great. Wood production we don't have a problem with either. Oh, brilliant. Okay, we should be able to get that soon enough. Hopefully within the next half an hour. So we can actually have the Odeon and then perhaps have an even bigger festival. Because we need to get an Odeon, some people to perform as well. An Odeon group. I think it's Odeon artisan or artist. Yeah, we're going to have to get that. Yeah, okay, we can put another house or two over here and some houses over here. Oh, we are unfortunately going to start running out of space again for our town. Oh, okay, let's see. Let's see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Maybe our ecological towns simply cannot be like equities and all those people. We can just have smaller settlements in essence. Maybe that is what, unfortunately, the case. Okay, nice little one like that. And you know what? We are, of course, going to build a nice little garden. Once more, always, always the gardens. And I think another one like this. And another one. That is one of those as well. Never mind. This one. There we go. And then perhaps a 3x1 over here. And then perhaps, you know what, perhaps we're going to get some income from this house over here. Like that. Okay, and we can plop down some gardens down here. Not the 7x2. 3x2s like that. And one like that. And perhaps just two little small houses down like that. Okay, that's about as much as we are going to place over here. And that will hopefully take up our Peregrini. Oh, one short of 300. Oh man, so close, so close. Okay, I would love to actually be able to build insula, but that is going to still be a while. Let's just see now. We are heading into the food production time. So what we can do now is we can actually exchange. How much food do we have? 1,900. What we can do is we can exchange 1,500 food. Oh, we don't have the brick warehouses. Okay, let's get another brick warehouse built. Production. Bricks. Brick warehouse. You know what, we're going to build two. I do believe we'll still have enough scriptoria. Yeah, I think we'll just have enough scriptoria. That is great. Let's just increase the speed a bit so that these warehouses can be built and we can actually get our trade done. Because I would like to actually have the Odeon over there. How's our brick production? 15% of warehouses filled. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now, I said 1,500 food. Okay, only 1,000 bricks. Okay. That is fine by me, though. What we then also need would be marble, I believe. Odeon. We need 78 marble. So what we can do is we can wait for our food production to go up a bit. Look at that massive drop. I'm not sure whether you can see it on the screen, but there is a sudden massive drop in our food. But that's because we've just sold like 2/3 of our food. How much do we need? I already forgot. Oh, we only need 3 marble. We should be able to get that. No worries. No problem whatsoever. What we're going to do is just 5. And we're going to get... Oh, we're going to... Can't get 6 marble because we don't have marble storage, do we? No, we don't. Reduction, marble warehouse. Just going to have that plop down there over there as well. As soon as we've got that, we can again get more marble as well. Great. More market stalls. Oh, yes, indeed. All right, so trade, market. That'll be this middle piece. Just rotate it so that it looks like that, and I think another one like that should be enough. Marble warehouse almost done. The idea with not producing marble here, first of all, we can't because I don't think we actually have a marble mine over here. But again, we are trying to be as ecologically friendly as possible to not have a marble mine and all those things associated with it in this area will stuff up this environment. Now, what it also means is we are stuffing up a different area to mine marble and cart it in here, but that area, for example, may not have a logging industry or a clay mine over here. So you've got to pick your battles, and in our case, we'd rather import marble than try to produce it in this landscape over here, which we can't in any case. Okay, let's take 1,000 food and get 10 marble for that. Okay. We still have more than enough food. That is great. This means, finally, for the first time in forever, we will have an Odeon. We will have this amazing, amazing, big cultural building. And this does mean that we need to now go and get Odeon people. So let us go to the world again. Yes, save and head out to the Empire and drink a nice cup of cold chocolate. Very nice. And then we will head out to the overworld and see what we can find. Any moment now. Any moment. Here we go. I know I did see the Odeon artists somewhere. There we go. Odeon artists right over there. So there goes our cart. Going to zoom along the main road. Always lovely. And then just going to head on over to the north here. And there we go. There are the Odeon artists over there. Lovely aqueduct. Aqueduct that is actually built along here. Technically, I think we can build an aqueduct in the village that we currently are building. I think there is a place for us to actually, a nice little spring over there. There we go. Only 12 entertainment, but, and only 10 cost per week. You know what, we're going to hire them. Let's just see whether there are any other Odeon artists that maybe will give us more entertainment. There's a gladiator ludus. Theatre group. A racing team still over there. Okay, so no Odeon artists to the south here. Maybe... What's that? That's a theatre group. Theatre group. Lots of theatre groups. Gladiator ludus. Come on. I want my Odeon artists. I want my Odeon artists. No, lots of theatre groups. That is a gladiator ludus. Nope, doesn't look like we have any more artists. So let's head on over to the gentle coast once more, which is right over here. Leoviticus, heading back to the town, and then maybe we can get the Odeon artists to perform in February as well and get a nice, even bigger festival going, which will be absolutely marvelous. There we go. There's our little guy running down along the main road to our Leoviticus settlement. All right, any moment we'll get back there and we'll carry on with our little town. Okay, marvelous. Now, of course, as mentioned before, before I had the break with Wilson coming and arriving in our lives, I did mention that I am probably heading into my city building era in life. So I will most likely soon. I think I'll still next week stream Pax Augusta. But I suspect the week thereafter, I will start with Dawn of Man. And the idea is that I'm going to have a whole bunch of live streams, possibly for the rest of this year, unless, of course, something amazing comes out and, I have to stream that. But what I'll probably do is I'll start. And all these city builders, but in different eras, try to kind of do what we're doing here, have sustainable development happening. And the idea is with Dawn of Man, for example, we're more hunter-gatherers in the Stone Age. We're going to build a settlement there, talk about the extinct animals and how humans have impacted them and how things perhaps could have been done differently. And we then will move on to a little bit more modern era. We'll have a look at what game we will then play after that. But as time goes on and we finish the one game, I'll move on to the next one, which is set in a later time period. Of course, later on then we'll get to Anno 1800. Or 1800, which will be a more industrial era, which obviously had a massive impact on the environment, and we'll look at how we could have done things a little bit more differently. And then later on, we'll get to the modern era with Anno 2070, which is a little bit further in the future, and then maybe even one of the later space age settlement games, maybe Aliens or Survival, Alien Dawn, Stranded, Alien Dawn, sorry, that's the game. That we are on an alien planet, building settlements, trying to survive, those types of things. Okay, so we'll probably head on to that. But for this today still and next week, we will still be having Pax Augusta. And then thereafter, we'll see where we go from there. Alrighty. How many do we need? We just need one more scriptorium. We are going to place down another one of these bigger ones for, that will be the central piece. I think that's this one, middle piece, yeah. There we go. That will slot in nicely over there. Okay. Oh, there we go. We can. Ooh, we haven't done anything yet. Okay, we can't really do anything yet to this stadium or to this theater over here. We can, however, have this. And we'll do all those in a moment. But we are going to first do is get the Gallic flute players to perform in February as well. And oh, look at that. That is going to give us an extra 10 reputation. So now in February, every February, we'll get 18 reputation. And if we now have a circus and we place down, or we get a circus group, well, a racing team actually, then we are going to get even more reputation every week in that month. So let's see here in terms of, because I've never actually gotten to the point where I've got a circus. You need consul. We don't have consul at all yet. Next up is praetor, censor. Oh, consul will really be up. Oh, that's a long way away. Okay, so never mind. Never mind. That's not going to be anytime soon. Okay, but the Odeon over here, what we can do is we can have improved acoustics. That's nice. We're going to have stage decorations. All of this will increase the satisfaction. Oh, we need 10 slaves in order to get the free honey wine. Audience members receive free honey wine between performances, produced by the famous wine producer Flavius Vorenus, and +3 satisfaction. Are we going to do that? I don't think we're going to do that. Let's not get them drunk on free honey wine. Okay, the Odeon wasn't even necessary yet. I think the Odeon only really is relevant when you've got the Chives coming through. We only have the Peregrini. Oh, we are literally just one Peregrinus short. Let's see, where can we plop in? Perhaps one over there? Oh, we can perhaps plop in a little Peregrinus house over there. A little simple house. What's the smallest one we can place down? It's a 3x1. We can literally place a 3x1 over there. And we're going to have a little backyard house of 2 1x1s. There we go. Shame, these little poor people living on the outskirts there. That is hopefully going to... That 3x1 should give us 3 people. Yeah, literally 3 people, just going to push us over 300 Peregrini, which will allow us to build the insula, which will then allow us to get Chives. Now, previously, I said that insula is the plural and insulum is the singular. That is, in fact, not true. Insula is the singular and insulae would be the plural. So we're going to have one insula built here, and then we're going to build a whole bunch of insulae. Okay. Latin. It's a funny language and I love it. But it really is very funky. All right, what we are going to do though is we are going to, in the meantime, get ready by just building a city street up here. Because yes, we are going to build some insulae over here and all the way up here, and then also build on this side, I think. Let's just check. Yeah, we'll be able to build all the way along over here. Okay, get as many insulae built as possible. And come on, any moment now, the Peregrini will move into their new house. Oh, it's still being built. Okay, any moment now it will be built, and then we'll have some Peregrini moving in. My word, we've got a lot of money suddenly. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, no water supply. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, we need a well. We're just going to plop that down behind the house there. That should be fine. Okay. The satisfaction is 0. Oh, we need more graves. We need more graves. The graves are becoming full. So religion, necropolis. Going to build a nice big one like that. Right on the outskirts there. Oh, I did also realize that at some point people are going to become unhappy with the fact that their houses are quite close to the graveyard. Okay, it's not yet. Not yet, thankfully. And we are going to need another arena as well. Which we'll probably put over here. Somewhere around here, I think. Alrighty. Have we got... Come on, come on. Anytime, any moment, we'll have our first Peregrinus moving in here. And we'll hit 300 Peregrini. There we go, 300 Peregrini, which means we can finally build Insula. Come on. There we go. Oh, now, the Insula here, as you can see, are massive. They are really, really big. Takes a lot of wood, takes a lot of everything to build. But this one house will house 72 people. Okay, just want to check which one will house the most. I think it is that 6x6. That'll be house 72. This one also, another 6x6, house 72. Yeah, I think those are the biggest ones. Yeah. Okay. The 6x3 will house 36, which makes sense. So we could technically build this already. We can technically either build 2 of these or a 6x6, but we can't afford a 6x6 yet. Anyway, I love the insula. So insula, of course, as mentioned before, actually means island. And that's because, well, these, I'm not sure why they're called insula. I think they kind of were like little apartment islands in essence. But they were really like apartment blocks. As you can see here, multi-story buildings. The bottom floor actually consisted of shops. And then people stayed up in the first, second, and third floor, for example, in this building over here. Which is, I think, quite cool. Okay, so what we can do is we can build that. I need to consider how are we going to make this still allow a corridor. How are we going to still put a corridor with the insula we are building here? The first thing we can, of course, do is perhaps have it like this instead of like this. Have it like this and build like a little bit of a gardens through there. It's a very narrow stretch, but it is something at least. Okay, so we're going to have some gardens along there. That is what we are going to do. What will these backyard gardens, these backyard houses? Yeah, that gives us tax revenue as expected. Okay, garden-wise, a 4x1 over there. I think another 4x1 we can get over here as well. There we go, some gardens right over there. Bring what we usually do. And then, in terms of more insula, 4x3 we can actually build over here. There's marvelous. We can build one, I think, right over here, and it will still be within the central area. But, oh, I just realized we don't have wells yet here. So there we go. Now we've got wells. Well, almost forgot about wells. Okay. I don't think these guys are going to be very happy. They're not on the main roads. They have very little entertainment. They are going to be quite upset. I think they are going to be quite upset. Let's just check here. Yeah, that's the floodplain over there. We're not allowed to build from this point on. But we will be able to if we've got enough resources. Not the theater, I want. Entertainment arena. Wooden arena... we would technically be able to build here. It's going to be very close to that area over there. I don't really want that. So, no. Small wooden arena we'll be able to build here. But we don't even have the wood for that. So, no, I guess not. How's our brick production? We've got bricks. We've got lots and lots of bricks. You know what? I'm going to actually stop production with the bricks. We don't need any more bricks being built or made. I'm going to also remove that target, so no longer would be taken to our kiln over here. Instead, we can buy. We've got lots of food that we've got stored away. We can buy with that. I mean, we're in the middle of winter or the end of winter already, and we've got 2,400 food stored away, and our food stores are only 63% full. So in the middle of summer, we'll be able to produce a lot of food and also sell a lot of food to buy bricks and whatever else we need. Let's just see here. How are you guys feeling? Not happy at all. Why not? You're really not happy. Okay, 35% or 31%. Okay. Theatre, a restaurant you need, a lupanar you need, therme you need, a fire station no, latrines you need, a whole bunch of stuff you need. Okay, so lots of stuff we will need to build, and I think we are going to build that for them next time. But I think this is actually a good spot to end for today. So next time we're going to expand with our insulae over here, get all the amenities sorted, get them all nice and happy, and then see whether we can perhaps get to become a praetor. I can technically run for office. I've got the money. I don't have the reputation, so there's a smaller chance of me actually succeeding. I'm not going to do that then. I will, maybe next time, I will run for praetor. So I think for now, good spot to end. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on our little building adventure here as our town expands. Hope you had a lovely time. I had a lot of fun with all of you, and I hope to see you guys again next week, where we will be streaming the last episode, for now at least, of Pax Augusta, and we are going to try and get to the next level as much as, or as close to that as we possibly can. And yeah, hope you have a wonderful weekend further and a lovely week ahead, and I will see you all